welcome to the final part of Project Phantom. This is a project where Merlin's Miniatures and myself collaborate on restoring a sort of classic large model, in this case an Eldar Phantom Titan. Now, I'm not going to bore you with a load of waffle. We're going to get straight into how we got it from video 2 to the finished project. Let's get to it. So we're going to be using the airbrush again, and I'm using Ratling Grime from Games Workshop, or Warhammer paints, I believe it is now. And we're just putting this through the airbrush, and I've added a couple of drops of AK Interactive's Ultra Matte Varnish, and that is just to sort of stop the contrast paint having that sort of satin sheen, because where I want this to be the grimy dirt, I want it to be nice and matte. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm not afraid to sort of wipe it away, or just sort of use a sponge, or use a bit of blue roll, or even my finger to just, you know, add some streaks of sort of dirt essentially. But the main areas that I'm sort of targeting is on the panels, is just getting around that lining where it meets the sort of gold. And on the white, I really wanted to add some streaks. So some areas, like you can see on that bit there, it left a bit of sort of a tide mark, or like a tea stain as such, which is easy enough to rectify. You can give it a good scrub, or what I tend to do is sort of try and blend it away, and then I just sort of feather it across the rest of the piece to try and just extend that dirt. So what do you think of our Phantom Titan? What would you have done if this was on your painting desk, and how would you have finished it? Do you like the weathering? Do you think I've gone too far? Do you think I've not gone far enough? Let us know in the comments below. So one of the other things I wanted to do, and I really wanted to add with the airbrush, was sort of these vertical, grimy, dirty lines where it looks like all sorts of oil, dirt, stains, all sorts of that has just been running down the torso of this Titan. So for the legs, we are lining those panels, we're going around the gems, and we're also adding a few of those nice vertical streaks like I did on the chest. So once we've done that all over the armour, we're going to come back in and add more battle damage and weathering, this time with P3's Umber. Now this is obviously a gorgeous dark brown, hence the Umber, but it's so effective for those muddy, dirty marks. And we're just applying this, you know, on a lot of edges with a sponge, and just using the tweezers to sort of dab it and just add that effect. So I have a question for you, dear viewer, and that is this: what is the biggest model you've ever painted? Because this is definitely mine. I was going to call it a miniature then, but it's certainly not that. So one final thing we did just to weather this is just coming in with some silver, and we're just dry brushing it. We're clipping the edges of all the metallics, but also of our teal sections, and any of those sections that I've made really dark with the streaks, I'm just dry brushing it over to sort of make it look like it's been worn away, and you can see sort of that metal chassis underneath. Now, the good thing about painting a model of this scale is you can get away with being pretty heavy-handed with these techniques. So our lovely base. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail. So our lovely base, and a few of the things that we sort of did. One of the things that I really wanted to do was add something to sort of show the scale of the Titan, because yes, obviously you can see that it's big and you can see it on screen, but sometimes you need a point of reference for sort of true scale. And that's what I did with this sort of crashed Falcon, because I just wanted to show how big it is in comparison to that, because I've seen these on the tabletop for many, many years now, and I sort of know roughly how big that is. And with that dwarfed between his legs, it sort of shows the grandeur of this thing. So the base, I won't bore you with too much detail, but this is essentially two 3D printed panels, because of the size of the build plates, on a piece of wood. And then the guys at Merlin's Miniatures were lucky enough to find me a falcon and some bits of ruin, which I sort of laid out on the base and tested it, and that chicken foot is sort of where I know the Titan's foot is going to land. So I knew to place my scenery around it before adding anything else. All the rocks are 3D printed as well, nothing particularly special, but it just adds a little bit of dimension and dynamics to the base. Once I was happy with all that, I absolutely smothered this thing. This is just like poster paint mixed in with a little bit of AK Interactive's texture paint, mainly because I didn't have any sand around to sort of add that to the poster paint. But here we are. Now, after that dried, Shazam. Then it was just a case of airbrushing some black primer. I also kept the Falcon off for this because I knew I needed to paint it that teal colour and didn't want it to overspill onto the base, so I did that separately. After that, I double checked my positioning, and as you can see, I've just sort of done a light grey sort of zenithal almost on the ruin sections and the Falcon. But the Falcon comes off and then we start just dry brushing the base. And all I'm using here is sort of creamy tones and ochres just to sort of give it a bit of depth really. And as you can see, it starts off looking quite yellow, but when I put the final dry brush on, which I believe is straight Wraithbone, it really starts to make it pop. The Falcon, I wanted to keep this super simple, so all I did was use the same teal to tie in with our Titan, and then the only other colour I wanted to add to it was just pick out a few of the bits in silver, just to sort of make sure it wasn't just a big teal tank. And I'm also using that silver to add some scratches to sort of show it's a bit of a wreckage, and I've got, you know, one of the fins crashed into the ruin, and I've positioned the rocks, hopefully, to tell the story that it crashed. Then I'm coming in with that lovely mix of the Ratling Grime with the matte varnish and just picking out some of the edges and just making this look a little bit beaten up and worn. We're then coming back in with that P3 Umber and adding the same sort of sponge technique just to add a little bit of chipping and weathering to it, which would tie in nicely to the Titan. Finally, I wanted to add loads of pigment powder just to add that little bit of extra depth, and I really like how matte pigment powder is, and I put it absolutely everywhere. You may be asking how's it stay on, but I do airbrush a light coat of matte varnish just to keep it all solid on the base. And that, my friends, completes Project Phantom. So I do have another project lined up with Merlin's miniatures. I can't give you all the details as of yet, but what I can tell you is it makes this thing look small. That's going to take a lot of paint. Thank you very much once again for checking out Project Phantom, the finale, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.